Do I have to hold this the whole time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we recording?
We are recording.
Hi, whoa!
Welcome
to
the
7th episode of...
Marble Hornets.
Evan gave me this gift, and I'm not allowed. He said I'm not allowed to put it down this
gift
entire.
that's been on your couch ever since we started this.
I've
podcast.
literally
Yeah, no, but
sitting
he
next to it
held
for
it to me.
years.
But I
now
gave
at
it
this
to him
point.
And he
today.
said I can't put it down.
Crit-
So.
You know who we are,
For,
Talia and Amanda are here
Christmas.
as always.
No, they're not.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
you
would
can't
lie?
see them. So
Oh no, you can see them.
by proof, you can't see
We
them.
shun
They
them.
don't exist.
Don't make any crazy silly faces back there, y'all.
The most insulting thing known to man. So
I
as
have
we
to turn my water so they don't
Turn
know
it
what I'm
away.
drinking.
as we touched upon in
Yeah,
the
we can
last
look at it.
stream and the last Q&A, we were dwindling on some really good questions, but
Looks
then
like
we
purified
got slapped with a whole bunch of new ones. This will be the last Q&A for about a month at least, just because
Goodbye, I'm done.
Evan's done. No, it's just give you guys time for questions that haven't been asked already, let some more of that kind of stuff accumulate, but also because we're going to probably start working on some newer modes of this come December, like maybe doing the live commentary watch through of EMH or select episodes, new stuff, different stuff than what we're doing here. But yeah, other than that, we'll probably just pick up like what we've been doing.
Many times.
But let me actually open up my phone.
Is it polish on
Is there anything you guys want to go on about?
Yeah, I'm really happy to not be here anymore for a whole month. How about you?
That's not.
So the thing about this, we've been doing this for a couple of
Years now.
episodes now. I hate this so much.
Yeah.
Really?
I hate this every time I sit here in front of this
It's
camera.
disgusting.
I fucking hate
feel
it. I know
filthy,
that there
don't you?
are eyes
Yeah.
on me, undressing me with their eyes.
For 1 second,
And
I
you
thought this
I
was
serious?
sincere, and I was like, I
Yeah.
Well,
enjoyed
that
this a
proves,
lot.
That proves your foolishness.
Yeah.
So the fact
honestly.
that, have you noticed that I moved over here? I don't want to be near your
You know I placed
stank.
this thing between us
He
for the same
smells
reason?
like beef every day. Vince.
You're not with
smell
me
like
every day.
like beef.
You're not
Yes,
with
he
me every
is.
day.
I
We're
am
not
with him every
He's
day.
bitching, but he still shows up in my proximity every other day.
He likes
Every
beef.
other day.
He loves
He really
beef.
loves
He
beef.
loves
I'm
bouillon.
addicted to your beef smell.
Yeah, we
And
got
out of
questions.
context. There you
That's
go.
today. That's today.
So, yeah, I'm ready to be done. And we're done, just so everyone knows, we're done forever. This is it. We're all done.
We're
You're, never,
deleting
yeah.
the channel.
you're
Please.
literally never going to see
Yeah.
us on camera ever again, I would say.
Any content that we've ever made, please back it up. We're gonna delete it.
We're
as
going
soon
to
as this
delete
month
all
is
those fake profiles with those fake names, Vinny, Jeff, Evan. We don't have to go by those monikers anymore. We can actually go by our real names and speak on our real
Tobias.
accents.
over.
Okay, so
Jeffrey.
Evan.
that lasted 4 seconds.
Fuck you, Tobias. Good one, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Evan.
So,
What are we doing? What are
without
we
further ado,
questions.
Are we answering questions?
yes.
Vinny's in his socks. You can't see it, but he's in his
No,
socks.
not in boots. Big, burly boots.
Why are you twirling the...
I have to
chainsaw?
hold it.
It's
Why?
to distract them while he does it. Well, you want to give
That's
them
like the
something to
one
look at.
piece of potentially copyrightable
Oh, should I get
material in
closer to
this.
him?
Well, what the fuck is... It's an image of...
Hold it,
of,
no, I can reenact
of
the movie.
Person face. Of face face.
A face face.
It's an image of... Chainsaw...
What if we got a strike for that? There was image of the 1979 film
of
in your
Chainsaw
video.
It's
McFaceface.
not 1979.
What is it?
73.
72.
I think it's
I
72
think it was...
or 73.
wasn't it late 60s?
No, it was definitely
It
early
was
70s.
early 70s? Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
fact check us. Engage.
I'm sure you
I'm
guys
about
will
to do that
miss
right now.
making EMH, but how satisfying was it when you finally released the last video?
The fuck are you talking about? You're part of this. Oh.
You go first, Jeff.
Since this is the 7th episode, guys, we've sat here for almost 8 hours doing this.
74. You're right.
Hmm?
Yeah, it was in 74.
Satisfying, very. I don't think it felt like it was done.
No.
I felt like there was something we were missing, and it's like we made it. There's no homework to miss, but it felt like
It still doesn't feel.
it
done
still
to me,
doesn't feel
honestly.
like it's over. It's like, what are we missing? Like, oh shit, did Vinny get those files to me? Do we have blood for this weekend? But it's not there anymore. So it was very satisfying, but it didn't feel like it was over, I guess.
What was the question? I forgot it. Can you
Next
repeat it,
question.
please? No,
I'm
can
sure
you
you
repeat it,
guys
please?
will miss making EMH, but how satisfying was it when you finally released the last video?
That was the question.
I loved that last video. I loved it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say like, look, we did such a good job, because as far as filmmaking goes, there's a million things wrong with it. But like from a personal, and I'm somebody who, like, when I draw a picture, I see a million things wrong with it and I hate it. That's how I've always been. But with this, like, I was like, I love it. I love that oh my god, I love it. The fight, how we both just fucking die. Yes, like I love it. So I was very satisfied with it.
Me too. I was satisfied with the whole series, obviously, but at the end, to be able to go out for a weekend like we used to do and just spend the whole weekend hanging out, choreographing a fight, rolling around in the freaking mud.
Yeah.
It was
checking oil.
There was no oil. Checking Jeffrey, Beef Boy.
You know what it kind of reminded me of?
I hate that smell. I do not smell like beef.
He smells like beef.
He smells like beef.
He smells like beef every day.
Have you ever heard a human being go, "I don't smell like beef"?
Yeah, what the fuck is that about? What, you think he would just go with the joke, right? But he's so self-conscious about the fact that he doesn't.
He doth protest too much.
Talia knows. But so, doesn't it feel like too that, like, when we went out there when we were filming that, didn't it feel like the good parts of, like, the family vacations that you remember as a kid, like the ones that were good, like, and that feeling of all right, sad video aside.
Watching when my other two brothers killed each other in the backyard, yeah, that was
well,
the best
like
thing. I know
you're just hanging out. You're not worried about anything except what we were, and we were very worried.
We were
about
very stressed,
but not about, like, the outside world was gone when we were doing this.
Yeah.
I loved that. It was like a vacation. As stressful as it was, and how time regimented we were, and how we really needed to get everything done. It felt more like a vacation than most vacations I've ever been on with, like, family and stuff.
I agree.
It was really good.
I know, at least for me, I said when we got there, I was like, holy shit, we don't have anybody to annoy. Like, to be able to just be loud and stay up late, because I've had neighbors.
Well,
I mean, we
still
did it.
We just didn't give a fuck
No.
because we don't know.
Well,
them
we
and
didn't.
we'll be
We
gone.
didn't know.
We would be going 12 hours.
Oh, the speakers.
Yeah, because there was nobody else
Yeah,
there.
we did not know that the speakers were.
Yeah, we
on.
left outside. There were speakers on the deck that were attached to the sound system.
While we watched Halloween.
and then played Resident Evil.
So the zombies, the screaming. Oh God, get off!
Yeah,
It
me,
was
while
just
shooting
glaring into the dark woods
on
after
the
midnight.
speakers. Yeah. So
That was nice.
I mean, I know that's not really part of the question, but just God, I loved that whole. Yeah. It was just so
that was
awesome.
a satisfying end to an already satisfying project.
Yeah,
I
think so.
I mean, like, especially when things started slowing down and, like, it would take months and years for stuff to come out.
I did get out of frame. I'm sorry.
You distracted me with the still image we've been looking
There's
at.
no point now.
No, there's a point.
You've literally ruined
Redemption
everything.
is the point.
What were you saying, Joe?
I don't even remember.
All right.
No.
That's fine.
No. The fact of, like, when it got to, I will murder you. When it got to a point that it was like, all right, let's just get the next video out. We're sitting on our hands and stuff. If we were to end it back then, I think, like, the whole project would have had a bad taste in our mouths. Like, it would have been just, it was a chore for us to do that if we, like, gave into that pressure. But if, like, we took it on our own terms, then we got to have that vacation experience.
Yeah.
We got to do it our way.
Hell yeah, and I think we should carry that with us. Whatever the fuck we do it our way.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
fucking
But
Burger King right now.
I think we got to the point where we were more than, like, shortcomings at all happy with how it got there. Like you said, the flight. Like, the second to last thing we've ever released was something we're probably all most proud of. At least, top 5 videos and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Which I guess, the perfect segue is, what were your guys' personal favorite videos or scenes from the series and least favorite? This was asked in different ways before, but this is kind of our blowout. All questions that have risen to the top.
Evan, go first.
Okay, so I think definitely the last one. Just the last whole episode. And I think specifically the scene where we are both dying. I loved that. I loved the I liked the rake stuff, as torturous as it was to make. Yeah. I think it turned out fucking cool. Like,
no, I think I said Jim Thorpe is one of my favorite.
You guys took some cringy, shitty video and turned it into something pretty damn good, actually. Like, for as bad as it must have looked, I couldn't see myself.
It looked real bad.
It looked really bad. It's just naked me in an underpants crawling around. But you guys made it look weird and uncanny and uncomfortable, and it was good. So I liked that.
Ironically, your least favorite is probably the first shot.
The other rake.
Oh, that's my least favorite.
Yeah.
Which we discussed.
I hated that. I hated it when we did it. I remember going, I hate this. Can we not do this? Like, I remember saying that. You guys were like, it looks so good. I'm like, are you fucking blind? It looks
Yeah.
awful. Like, but
we were excited. We had a monster.
yeah, but I don't. There's a lot of like little ones that I can think of. I loved filming the shit with you in the attic.
Well, and that's
just
why
because like I had a torture room and
we
I was
could
very
ask this
excited.
again and have different like.
Yeah, honestly,
memories pop
this
up
is a
and-
tough one. This is like a bullshit question. Like what's your favorite horror movie? Like, fuck you. How's that? Like, you know what I mean?
How much time do we have?
Yeah, exactly. So I'll say though, I will say that my favorite was the last one. Was a lot of pieces of that final scene. I think were my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
I also really liked the storage.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
that's a good
in
one.
terms of our series in like a shell, it was the storage facility, the whole Cornthal connection. I think that was the name of the video itself.
Oh,
it
when
was
he
like
opened
it was kind of like,
that was cool.
all right, these guys are acknowledging like the puzzle pieces, the ARG stuff in their universe, and pulling it directly onto the screen. And I thought it was cool. There's just a lot of stuff coming together, and like for once, like everything worked out for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like with scheduling conflicts and special effects, there weren't major issues we had to work around for that one.
Yeah.
For me, it was Jim Thorpe's my favorite. One, because I think it looks really pretty just in general. We used like that gimmicky stabilizer. We had that newer camera. We really took
Color
our time.
control we did.
Yeah, we did a nice color grading, and that one felt the most satisfying because we spent so much time prepping.
Yeah.
And then we had, I know it sucked for you when you were in the outfit, but like then we had like dinner and it was a nice.
Oh, that
time.
was an awesome
It was just
time.
we
Yeah.
played game. It was
Yeah,
a nice.
That was.
It's a nice memory watching the video, but it's also for me an impressive video.
I will say, showering that stuff off was awesome. It's like, we know when you're picking glue.
Ooh, yeah.
That, but times a billion, because it's like sloshing off. It was like I was ripping my own skin off. It felt so
That's
good.
cool.
Also
That's
out
good.
of context. That
Yes,
one.
that's a good one. Take that. Gift that.
What was the first scene ever filmed and the last scene? I think the fight was the last day of filming. Or, no, because it was all fucked up out of order. The last 4 videos definitely were not filmed sequentially.
No, they weren't.
Because the last scene you ever see of us at the tree was early in the summer, relatively speaking.
The
Yes.
last thing we ever filmed was making the symbol, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
Yes.
And the Wendy's.
Yes.
Yes,
Was
you're
that
right.
the
That's what I'm
very
saying. It
final
was all
thing?
out of order from the last 4 videos.
Yeah.
Was the Wendy's the last fucking thing we filmed? The goofy fucking Last Supper.
I think
I think
it
so.
was. Because that was late at night, and that was after the fire and your old apartment.
Can you remember, Amanda?
No, I think you're right.
Was that after? That was after the.
That was after Jim
The
Thorpe
fight
too.
scene, yeah.
because-
I do remember saying though. I remember telling your brother like that's it, man. We filmed our last piece, and he was like, "Wow, fucking finally!" And then like next weekend or something, I was like, "All right, I have to go over to film with your brother." He's like, "What?" Like, I thought you just did that.
No,
So I
because-
can't. I don't know if there was like little bits, but the last real
scene. Yeah, that was it.
I think it was
Yes.
fucking.
But when
Yes, it was.
That's crazy.
Yes, it was.
it's kind of
You know what? I love that
Representative,
scene
yeah.
also. I forgot about that one. That's definitely one of my favorites because everything with you, me, and that purple fucking hand was, I think, gold. Like,
great.
I loved
That was
everything
great.
about that.
It was
all,
unplanned
it was all
gold, which was
improv.
fun, yeah.
We were just bouncing off of each other.
the
we just had
comedic
points we
timing
wanted
has
to say.
always been in our favor.
Yeah,
You know,
we've
like,
always been
with-
pretty good.
you know, like my brother, your phone is ringing, and just like that half-second stutter and then the video ends. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
a lot of moments like that in the series, I think.
I think too we know each other really well, so like he can play off of my bullshit super well. You can play off my like we can all
What do you mean bullshit?
Work
Everything
with-
we say is 110%
we
serious.
can really work with each other. I think you know what I mean, like pretty well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
That was we answered that though, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That
we did.
was
well, the
Wendy's scene.
first thing is probably just sequentially the intro, us sitting.
Oh
in
yeah, the first
room.
thing was literally the intro.
Yeah. Which
That
is-
was you going like, "Hey,
Hey, what's up, internet? I'm Vinny.
what's
Yeah.
up, internet? I'm Vinny Everman." I
This
think
is
is the
Everman.
very first thing
You
we
can
filmed.
tell by like
Yes.
the time of day and what you're wearing. I think you did that like right after school or something
Yeah.
by yourself, and then we came over.
Yeah.
And
We
filled in
filmed the jogging thing, right?
But
And,
that was
and you working out over there.
No.
I think I
No.
held the
No.
camera. Oh, while you were explaining it.
The first thing we
That
ever
was like the first
the
day of
first
filming.
thing we ever filmed. You had the camera.
Okay.
We were driving. You got the woods for the intro.
Oh yeah.
As long as it's not
Wasn't
my
me.
car.
You know, where you have the goat.
Yeah.
and the hybrid?
Wavy hand?
That was literally the first
where,
thing.
where in the intro it cuts to those woods and it's like with the annoying fucking
No.
crickets
No.
noises.
No.
That was that's one of the same day, but he's
You
talking
mean
about
the intro, yes, the
Oh
intro part.
shit! Yeah.
That was literally the
and
first...
that had nothing to do
No,
with it.
that was not even part of it.
You just took that
Yeah.
footage. Oh,
That
isn't that
happened a
interesting?
lot though for traveling.
Yeah, but that is technically the first thing we
That's funny.
used. Yeah,
Did you
it's the first
see
thing we
that?
shot.
I think that made it into one of the last videos too. That wavy hand throwback definitely.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It was blown out of shit because we finally learned how to do the screen ratio, but it wasn't.
Alright,
It's
next
still
question.
there. Listen, blow your. Ugh.
Blow your aspect ratio.
I was gonna say blow it out your ass or blow
blow
me,
it out
but
your
then they
aspect
don't work.
ratio.
Bad ratio.
No, blow it out your aspect ratio.
Here's one for Evan, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
More so,
Alright,
Evan.
wow. Okay.
What would
Fine.
Habit's response be if one of his victims was constantly overly sarcastic and cracking jokes, even if Habit was threatening him? Might be specific, but it's a scenario that meaningless certified loser finds amusing. I think it's a fun one.
Well, I think we actually got very close to that with Dylan when he was playing.
Patrick?
Well, he wasn't Patrick. I believe he was the other
Michael?
one. Yeah. I
Oh,
think it was
I'm sorry.
Michael,
I thought you were
But
talking about
yes,
someone else.
Patrick is very much, and we and him had discussed like having those characters interact. We really wanted to, but the Sham House was what it was.
Yeah.
But when we finally filmed that, and it wasn't so much sarcastic as it was because sarcastic, I don't think he'd care. He does. That's the whole point. Is he's like, I already won. I don't like, you know what I mean. He is gonna do what he's gonna do no matter what.
It's just the
He's a
flavor of
fucking
the
psycho.
fuck you thing.
Right.
He's a monster, and you could say fuck you as much as
Yeah.
you want. The whole talk that we
That's
had.
what I'm saying. It's a
The whole
different
point-
flavor of that.
Yes, the whole point of me torturing you and the thing where I think somebody, either you said fuck you and he's like fuck you, like ugh, you know what I mean? He's bored by that. That doesn't enter. It's not unique. It's not interesting. Plenty of people have probably, I would assume, done that to him and other terrible people in the world, because when you're strapped down to a table and there's nothing else you're gonna do, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would... Alright, like, I'm gonna kill you. You know he's gonna kill you. You know there's no way out. Well, suck my dick, you fuck. You know what I mean? You're a piece of shit. What do you want? Oh, you're trapped me to a table, big fucking man.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you have now. But the problem is, he knows that. He knows
Of
that that's
course.
all you have. Like, and it's like, okay, keep talking, that's fine, and he'll cut your tongue out, and or not. Or he'll just listen to you while he's doing it. So I don't think he'd give a shit. I think it would not faze him at all. What did faze him and what bothered him was
Wearing a banana suit.
The beef smell.
No, was shit. Oh, the beef smell was hard to deal with you in that attic. I'm glad it was so cold so you weren't sweating.
Well, I should have left the banana suit on then. It's your fault for
Exactly.
taking off the
That
sweaty
banana suit is Jeff's banana suit smells more like beef than
Well,
anything.
I have
on this
like 4 or
planet.
5. So
Did we
yeah.
use that footage or not?
No. So,
Nice.
but the one thing that ever did bother him or change, because it's hard. What I wanted to do is make sure that he's hard to dissuade. He's hard to stop. Like,
Sure.
he's like if you were gonna kill me, what the fuck am I gonna say to change your mind? Like,
Not much.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't. I like he doesn't care, and that was the
Do
point.
it.
But the one thing with Dylan and with Michael, which I don't, did we ever actually use that footage?
No, that's why I was like, are we talking about a scene we pitched or something
Interesting.
we actually let
We
out
filmed
there?
it. We filmed it,
definitely
and I'm
filmed
not
it.
sure. Oh, he was supposed to use it for his thing,
And I think he got.
and I don't know if he
Second
did
thoughts
because he
about
got. So that was the only thing that we ever filmed, and I don't need to talk about it if you guys don't want me to.
Well, and maybe,
But
I mean, as much as it doesn't matter, spoilers, Dylan never released it, so keep that in his.
Well,
Court.
say
Okay.
it. Say it. We can double check with him, make sure it's okay, and then if it's good,
Oh,
we'll
you might
leave
get
it
one
in.
of these classic, we mute everything from here on out.
Right.
So
This
there was
was that the bathtub?
the bathtub, exactly. I was drowning
He
him in the
never
He
used
bathtub.
took our memory card.
Like, so I took Colorado with him. This was one of the last days he was here, by the way.
No, I remember that.
And
there for
I was
that.
drowning him in a bathtub, lifting him up, like.
We took a mirror shot.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying like I like how you raptored into him because I was like
Yeah.
moving around him, and because what I was showing was like when he gets upset, he starts acting more like an animal because he's like a fucking monster. That's what he is. He's a weird fucking monster. So he's drowning him, he's picking up, he's like, ha, pick your nose, dirty, like
Yeah.
doing shitty things to him, and while he's doing it, Habit's in full control. You see him the way he always is, and then Dylan says, what does he say? Either you know you'll never stop him, or you know that he'll stop you, and he's referring to the Doctor. He's
Yeah.
referring to Dr. Cornthal, not the other monsters, because you can sit there and tell him about the other monsters. I already got a plan for them.
Right.
He doesn't have a plan for Cornthal
Or,
because you can't plan around him.
Right.
That's the only thing in the universe that we've made that would shake him or unnerve him. He doesn't. He obviously gets agitated if his plans don't work, or if things aren't, because he's a little control freak. If things aren't going his way, like he'll get shitty. But like that's whatever.
Right.
Like the real, and I think what this person's looking for, because everyone always tries to do this, like, well, I want to see, I want to get somebody to beat him. The only person that really can or ever has was Cornthal,
Very
and it's the
close to
only person that can ever come close to actually upsetting him,
Right.
because he's just that good. Like that, and we built that character to be fucking
'cause
awesome.
The thing with the other monsters, I have it be like, you think you could understand those things better than I do. Like, I'm the one in their world. Like,
Yeah,
shut
like
up, human. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like there are things about them I know that you don't. Is there not? You don't know if he's
Yeah.
telling the truth.
Right.
But what you know is that he doesn't care that you just said it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't bother him. But what did bother him was that moment where he's like you know that you'll never stop me. You know, I have to rewatch it. And then that's when he's like, and he starts like drowning him, like and like
It's not
screaming
fun
at him.
anymore.
It's not
It's
fun for him anymore,
personal.
and
Right.
that's the difference. It's hard to make things. I think that's beautiful. It's hard to make things not fun for him. He's gonna enjoy whatever. He doesn't
Right.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Like you fucked up the plans, and he's like, "You're fucking it up, Vinny, but I love you." You know what I mean? And it's like, okay,
Right.
I don't.
If
he-
Habit
he's
was
still kinda-
pissed, I would have been dead.
You
Then he
did,
would have been
like-
dead. And
Hence,
yes,
like
yes.
you know what I mean? Like he was like, "I will drown this creature." I did not like what it said. Whereas he only sort of gets like wishy-washy about things that you
Right.
did, but like he
He's-
did not like
He gets
that.
eger to get things done.
I
the
guess
plan.
that's he's
It was
impatient.
like,
It's more impatience
right,
than it is like
yes.
it's he's annoyed.
It's an annoyance, right?
Yeah, but to like actually upset him, and I wouldn't say that it was, snarky. It was because he was like laughing at him like at Habit, and then he's like, "You'll never
even
stop
how
me."
it was delivered, though, if he said that monotone, it would still be.
It would have been.
personal.
I think it would have been even better if he
Yeah.
said a monotone. But he liked that characterization.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It doesn't matter if you're snarky or shitty or if you're like, "Haha, I'm a brilliant guy." If he's got you, he's got you, and he doesn't care.
Well, I
Like,
think your original point stands. Habit has a body count, a huge, enormous body count. There's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who have been like, "Ha, yeah, I got you, fucker."
That's what
and
I-
It's like, okay, it's just one. It's like the red M&M rather than the blue M&M. They're all M&Ms. They all taste the same. It's
And we'll
just,
probably steal some snarky catchphrases, if anything.
Right.
You
That-
help him out by being snarky.
Right.
and that's why I wanted to make him like he was so many different killers and bad
Right.
guys throughout the time, because it's like there's kind of nothing he hasn't done and seen. That's the point. Now we're entering
Without
this.
wakeboarding.
Now we're entering this unique, weird, and the whole point of this was now you're seeing him experiencing things for the first time. That's why he was so interested. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that symbol, ooh, like I want that. Like now you're seeing him passionate, whereas before he's just
Wendy's.
having a good time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's you're not. No, there's really not much you could do as a normal person. Doesn't matter what you say, he's heard it.
Yeah. So Habit, the thing that I think like is most interesting, and also just sort of Habit's characters, you don't exist to Habit. Habit does not care at all about anything that you're saying. You could be like,
Nope.
I know the nuclear launch codes, and Habit would still be fucking talking over you.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit.
He's super
You are
egomaniacal.
literally nothing. Right.
Yeah.
You are nothing, and everything you're saying means absolutely nothing.
You are
So-
you are at best a thing for him to play with.
Yes.
That's it, and that's
With like 11 catchphrases, and he's listening to none of them. Like it
he
just
doesn't care.
matter.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're a toy that all he'll do is burn,
Right.
play, and rip apart. He doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit. But yeah, that's a good.
Well, I guess this is kind of a good segue. What do you think about people who seem mad that EMH wasn't just about Slender Man? I.e., people comment in the last video, remember when this was about Slender Man? I think some are just joking, but I think there's some sincerity.
Do you mind if I start?
Go for it, yeah.
So I think that we set out to do something that involved more than just one character, one monster. I think Slenderman was a great jumping off point for us. While I would never be like, oh, I'm sorry that we added monsters, I do agree with some of the criticisms that Slenderman should have been in towards the end.
More.
I do think he should have been. You're absolutely
Visible.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also scaled back for a reason, and that was to show you that even without the monsters, so that's why at the end it was Evan and Vinny. Even without the monsters, once that damage is done, humans are fucking awful. People are gross to each other. Evan and I's characters killed each other
I didn't
not
know.
under the influence of anybody. Like,
No.
under the influence of ourselves and the shit that we've
And the
seen
truth.
and the shit that we've been through
Yeah.
and the truth coming out.
For once, everybody was honest.
Right.
For
Yes.
a single scene.
And in the end, you saw there was hate and then there was regret. It was a very human moment.
Right.
And yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like these things are forces of nature when they come through, but at the end of the day, yeah, I agree.
Right.
That was It's almost like you didn't need to show him at that point because what he had done was not
Right.
only ruin us, but get as much people as he could, and whatever.
No, I still love originally the idea, and we can cut this if we don't like to talk about it. The original idea was to have Evan and I kill each other, and then we were going to have Slendy basically come and take the bodies away and bring us back into. I think that
Remember
would
the
have been
live stream idea too?
Yeah, I
We
know.
were gonna live stream
I
our deaths.
know.
Good God! Could you imagine how bad that would have
That
gone?
was what. When did,
Fuck.
where did we used to live stream?
Here.
No.
No,
What
it was gonna
platform?
be-
Ustream?
Yes. Could you imagine? We were like, oh, we're gonna film this and put it on Ustream.
Yeah.
Fucking 2012.
My little bit about that is I think it's kind of arrogant for people to assume like Slender Man's completely gone just because he's not literally standing there
Right.
behind a tree. Like, what's the whole greater story being told?
Right.
I think that's another,
He literally set up
sit
the
on that
world
one
and never
for a little
stopped.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do totally think that some of the criticism is valid. In
Yeah,
that
I
we could have had
definitely-
more
It's also
visitations.
what we wanted to look good
Yeah.
and what we couldn't make look good.
And that's sometimes it was just logistically not possible. I mean, I can't fucking even count on all my fingers and toes how many times we were like, "Where's the tie?
Yeah.
Did you bring
Yeah.
the suit?"
Well, and
You know what I
then
mean? Like so many fucking times we just kept forgetting the goddamn
And one
props,
of-
and we were like, eh.
The one time we got somebody specifically, so the
Right.
three of us I wouldn't have to change into the suit and into my normal outfit.
the cops.
The cops showed up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So
well,
really,
fuck it.
Slender Man in our series was plagued with just logistical errors and problems and just real world pain in the ass for him. And that's why, like, I was always like, well, we could have Habit do this because it's so fucking easy.
Right.
I throw on a jacket and a hat and here I go.
Right.
And that was just so much easier than getting into this costume, looking fucking weird outside. Doing
Well,
those
and the
weird
thing
shit.
is,
but
when Habit was there, we expected Evan not to be there. The problem was, the way that I say it, the biggest problem that we had was, I mean, when we're 7, 8, 9 years into doing this, we don't really have anybody who's willing to come out and be Slender Man.
Yeah.
Especially as we're like all in government jobs and everything.
and we're all kind
So,
of short except
when-
for
Right. When you're Habit,
Beef.
when you're Habit, nobody's expecting Evan to also be on screen. But when he's Slender Man,
yeah.
especially like, not that you were needed because you were dead, but like as the proxy, when there's nobody else at all.
Yeah.
Well, if
When
I'm
there's
filming
nobody,
YouTube, yeah, I
right?
know.
When the three of us are the only ones there, and like, no offense to Amanda or Talia, but they wouldn't be able to pull off Slender Man either.
No.
Like,
And we definitely can.
no.
I'm only 6 feet tall. He's
I'm
only
like-
6'5".
And I'm built.
But
right?
Jeff,
Like,
Jeff
I'm
is
just
naturally 10 feet tall.
I
yeah,
have
so
those
it's
watch-
like 10 and a half, I heard. Last
Yeah,
we
he's
grew
too-
4 inches.
He's too physically
I'm
beefy,
too beefy.
and he's too actually beefy.
Essentially,
Right.
Made of really beef.
Man,
No, but
when you zip that Zentai fresh suit.
it was like a whole fresh stick of bully on.
Yeah, I meant to say keeps it
I
fresh,
imagine
but
it
there
zipping
is.
it in like a gas cloud coming out. Just
It's a fucking Bloaty's Pizza Hog.
no, I can agree. I definitely agree. If I were to redo it and like remake it, that's something that I think
There's a
I
single
would.
shot we wanted.
Yeah,
in the
literally
trio
one
line
shot
at the
more.
end,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that would have been impossible to do.
Right.
well.
Yo,
'Cause
fuck yeah.
It was you guys fighting in the rain, me going back and forth, and
We literally
sweats
didn't have
trying-
anybody.
Yeah, no, there was
Literally
there was
didn't have
literally
anybody.
no one there because
Yeah.
we needed to be dead at the tree.
Yep.
Someone needed to be holding the
Oh
camera.
yeah, fuck.
Right.
There
And then
go.
you needed to be out there. Like it was
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
we,
yes.
we just couldn't. But I think not making it still is
Right.
about him.
Right.
It's absolutely all about him.
Yeah,
You
and
know
that being
what I
said,
mean?
we're
Like,
just saying that we only wanted one other view, like sighting of him. Literally, our only complaint for our story was we wanted one more sighting. So
Oh, yeah.
anybody who was like, "This is no longer a Slenderman story," yes, it is. It just was a different take on.
Oh
the
yeah.
universe.
Also, you put other monsters in it. Yeah, we made our own monster. Like fuck off. Like yeah, we made something
Yeah.
ourselves. Like if you make a werewolf movie, I expect to see werewolves. I don't expect to see like a gargoyle. Cool. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like bonus. Like I don't
That's the
know.
way we
I
felt
mean,
about it.
I
If you
think-
want to watch Slenderman's story, watch Marvel Comics.
Or every other one
Right.
that's out there.
It
All
kinda
the
goes
6 billion other ones.
into like something I think we touched upon early on about the whole like the worlds are related. Like you're watching this as a participant, not just as a viewer, and it's like
Yeah.
that's again I keep using the word arrogant because I think it's funny like somebody sitting there online watching a show about horrible shit going on, and it's like someone's house is on fire, and then like on the other side of the country someone drowns, and you're like, that's not fair. This is about a house being on fire. It's like, no, this is about whatever horrible shit we want to make it about.
That's a good point.
It's just
I like that. That's a good way to say
Burn our
that.
house down, drown.
well, because
drown each
it
other.
was something born and for the internet.
Right.
So I think things from the internet were involved. Except we kept getting Jeff the Killer. People kept thinking I was going to become Jeff the Killer.
Yes, they
So
did.
I didn't know what the Jeff the Killer
I'm
was.
still really
what
not
the
all
Jeff the
for
Killer's story was. So I finally read it. It's the worst, most atrociously written piece of shit that I've ever seen. It is Jeff the Killer is the stupidest fucking story I've ever read. And I don't even read that much, and it's still the worst one. Jeff reads a lot.
And it's still the worst
one. So, like, there you go. I'm entertained by the easiest, simplest, stupidest of things. Jeff has a more refined palate. Vinny has the most refined palate, I would say, out of all of us. The worst fucking story. You hate it. It was written.
I'll read it. And
I think
I'll
it was
update.
written by like a 10-year-old though. Like
I hope
legit.
it is.
Yeah.
It legitimately.
Wouldn't
it
shit on
has
it
to
if
be.
it was
It's-
written by someone who's young.
It was terrible, but the whole point is the guy gets burned, whatever, and then he becomes Jeff the Killer, and it's all burn up. So they thought his name was Jeff, and because I burned him to death, he was going to be Jeff the Killer.
Props.
And I didn't know what
Yes.
Jeff the Killer was
Right.
until after, and the people kept saying it. I was like, what is that? Like, that has... What? Jeff is dead. What are they talking about? And then... Jeff actually is dead, by the way. And then, like...
Just phase it out.
Hologram.
Yeah.
Listen to
Jeff
last
is
week's
Jeff
episode.
is still dead. He's right there. But
I love that.
but yeah, that I didn't know what it was, and then when I read it, I was like,
So
like that offended me. I'm like,
Yeah.
how?
But at the
could
same
you?
time, we did it to ourselves by introducing like all these
and
characters.
using
Well,
our
yeah, of
real
course,
names.
of course, using
That's what I'm
random
saying. It was
Yeah.
the ground was there to
Yeah.
be
Absolutely.
based
No,
upon.
I absolutely.
But
get
that is the most. That's the worst story. It's
I
so
think
stupid.
I tweeted about
It's
this
so
before,
poorly
but it's
written.
sincere, and it's the first thing I think about when Jeff the Killer comes up. The first time I saw like the story posted and the famous image of Jeff the Killer, I thought it was a bunch of people cyberbullying a girl fan of Insane Clown Posse. I thought they were being mean to a girl who was wearing really stark white makeup
really?
and black eye makeup. I legit thought it was them cyberbullying somebody. Not this is something that's supposed
And
to be
calling
scary.
her Jeff the Killer.
Or I mean, I got into the the thread. And I was like, okay, this is a creepypasta, blah blah blah. But when you see that image, that I think you use it to like punctuate the story. And it's like this is the last thing you see. Ooh, and it's like you're just. That's like someone's MySpace picture.
Right.
Like, what are you, like, I thought you were just being mean to
I
somebody.
mean, to be fair, by the look of him, it's not the last thing I'll see.
No.
It's the last thing he'll do. I'm not worried. Like,
Yeah. So that's a little bit of everything for that question.
you got to learn how we feel about certain creepypastas.
And why we didn't include them.
'Cause
What's
that's
your
shit.
response to viewers who say that the 7 trials slowed down the series? Now, I think that's kind of...
Well, hold on. Let's take 2 seconds.
I have a response for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think
Choose
it's
it.
kind of... That's projecting onto us because I think if anything, I try to do the 7 trials as something to keep the pace when we couldn't get videos out. So I think the series was slowing down no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It just coincided. So from the outside, I guess it looked like that was the reason. No, that was us trying to still entertain people when
Right.
we were slowing down to begin with.
Yeah, so that's actually not a criticism that I've widely heard. Really
No, I
at
didn't
all.
either. And
That's the
this
first time
this
I've
submitter has been going just scrounging
Yeah.
all the good
No,
and bad.
great question.
No, it is.
I agree with Jeff. I think that anybody who blames the 7 trials for slowing down the story is projecting. The story slowed down because we stopped making the videos.
Yeah.
We stopped not being able available
Right.
24 hours a day for each other.
We slowed down the series.
We slowed
really,
right.
at the end of the
Blame
day.
us. I think that the 7 trials were absolutely necessary to set us apart, and I really enjoyed them. So I think that anybody who is saying who may have that criticism, I'd like to see like specific criticisms and why they thought that.
It'd
But
be interesting to
yeah.
actually line it up.
just off the top of my head, the thing is them probably thinking like, oh, they should be putting effort into this instead of that. But that wasn't the case. We were putting the effort into none of it. So
there's
yeah.
actually
At that point,
a
Jeff
good
was the
related
only
question.
one putting the effort in because he was the one making the,
Right.
the trials.
Right.
And again, this is a lot of good and bad questions, but he was scrounging everything. Why did you... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. It was basically an extension of that. Like,
Yeah.
something like, what about the criticism of, like, Let's Plays or Sham Life stuff, slowing stuff down? And it's like, it was
Oh,
never
same.
that. It was
Right.
just us. And if we could squeak out fun stuff or good stuff like twigs and whatnot.
Yeah.
When we could, we did. I mean, we've said it in previous Q&As. In a perfect world, again, I don't like saying it this way, but in a perfect world, this series would have been done in less than 2 years, but it evolved in a different way, and things would be so totally different for us if it didn't drag on. So
and making other
can't change it.
making other things. So the way that I operate my entire life is making something else doesn't mean that I would have had the energy to make the thing that you want me to make.
Something's cathartic. Like
Right. So to make twigs is a totally different energy than getting back into making EMH. To make Siren, what was that?
The
Right?
Sirens, yeah.
The Sirens was a totally different energy. Let's Playing is obviously totally different. They're all
Passive.
total different creative energies. Some are like Let's Plays is just a social energy, but EMH was very draining because it took so fucking long, and we wanted it to be done. And we had the story, and we were not going to compromise on the story, but also we didn't want to film it all and get it out there the way
We had to
just didn't have
constantly
the time.
continuity check
Right.
ourselves.
That was I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest hurdles was rolling with all those punches.
Yeah, so slowing down, nothing slowed us down. We filmed at the pace that we were mentally and physically and time constrained able to do.
Yeah.
Anything else was a bonus that we wouldn't have been doing EMH anyway during that time.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
You got anything up?
What, for that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can just
That-
keep going.
well,
It sounded like you were
I
gonna...
I mean, I would just be regurgitating what y'all just said. I think, no, I don't think the trials slowed it down at all because, like we said, we weren't gonna do
Nothing would have happened then.
Right.
I don't think I don't remember Jeff saying, no, don't film until blank blank. The trials
never happened,
happen.
right.
Like I don't remember that ever being a thing ever.
The only time that
So-
ever happened was when we brought everything, the ARG stuff back, and it's like, oh, we need to get the P.O. box, oh, we need to do that. But we
Yeah.
weren't filming anyway. We were just like, oh, we need to make sure before we
Yeah.
get together to film next that this is done.
Yeah,
That's
so
literally the only
I think
time that
it's
ever
more
happened.
like don't blame anything else that we did or anything else that was going on for our lack of videos. That was 1,000,000% us.
Yeah.
Just being like, no, I'm gonna be over here, or like, oh no, I'm not. You know, that's it. That was
Yeah.
all it was.
Okay, so you guys used a lot of notable places around where you live
Mm-hmm.
and refer to them by their actual names more than other
still
Slender
will.
series. Geography seems to be really integral to EMH. Was it also a thinly veiled love letter to your home region of Central Jersey?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Yes,
That's the
good
perfect way of
question.
saying it, too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you lifted our words at some point.
Yeah, no,
'Cause-
that's...
Yeah, that's pretty much what it
I mean,
is.
you asked the question and then answered it right then and there.
Mhm.
Yes, we love where we live. A lot of people give Jersey a bad rap, but we have kind of everything.
What are you giving thumbs down for? Touching this blanket?
What?
No, New Jersey.
What? Good thing Amanda's not
Amanda,
on this
stop. We
live. This
work for New Jersey. You can't do that.
fire
Helicopters.
No, but we really do like New Jersey. I've been all over the country, and New Jersey's a lot of fun. It's expensive. I would never want to live here. Amanda, shut up. Pennsylvania? Really? Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania, Amanda?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania sucks. I like
Every state
Pennsylvania.
sucks but New
I like
Jersey, and we
Pennsylvania.
suck too.
No, but New Jersey has a lot of abandoned shit. It has a lot of fun stuff around. and
You're an
it's-
hour away from any type of
Yes.
American region you want,
Yes.
for the most
That's
part.
true.
Yeah.
That's
You're
true.
not going to get...
We
mountain
do have the
mountains,
best
but-
pizza.
Yeah.
The best pizza.
Yes. Yeah.
Fuck New York. We have the best
No,
pizza.
we do. We have the best pizza.
Yep.
Yeah, New York slices suck.
Go to
Chicago? What the fuck are you doing,
What is
Chicago?
that? You're doing it wrong. You're doing it up.
Disgusting.
Fucking idiots.
Soup. It's soup.
It's lasagna.
It's soup.
Are you okay?
It's soup.
It's soup!
It is Jeff. Go to
I
Chicago.
don't want to go to Chicago
Ask
to
for a
get
pizza. You know what they give you? A bread bowl with marinara sauce in it.
And
And then
microwave
you're
it for 40
they
minutes.
put Paco Romano in their mouth and you go and
Here's
spit
your-
the cheese right on them.
Here's your cheesy soup, you beefy fuck.
Yeah, it's great.
You just throw it. 30 degree burns.
Enjoy.
Come back. Okay.
It's soup.
So something about Central Jersey.
Yeah, Central Jersey's great. Amanda hates it, but she's not part of this thing, so who cares?
She's not on the she's not on the special sauce couch.
She's on the bad.
Amanda,
couch.
how many Pokemon have you caught in New Jersey? Think
of
about
them.
that. All of them.
All of them?
There you
No,
go.
you didn't catch all of them. Amanda's lying too now.
She plays that.
Can you really
fucking-
trust Amanda's
She plays
opinion?
that game a lot.
She lies.
Pokemon Go.
What's your
Boggle?
Pokedex?
Oh.
How many you got?
I don't know.
It's not all of them.
weakness.
How
I
does
caught all of them in New Jersey.
oh
I haven't caught all
loophole.
Wait, do you have to go to like other?
Yes.
of them. Yeah.
Oh fuck that game.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of Pokemon.
That's fucking stupid. No one has time to do that shit. 10-year-olds running around catching animals and making them fight.
This is.
He would be dead
it's
within a
like
month.
people
No,
in their
within a
20s
week.
and
That
30s
10-year-old
play
child
Pokemon
would be
Go.
dead. Somebody
What
would have
person
scooped him
can
up
go
and
to
cut his
Europe
fucking head off.
To catch the.
Stupid idiot catching
They
animals.
flew people out.
There was
Jesus.
someone
They
who
could fly
actually
us out.
like flew to Australia and Japan and stuff to get the Kangaskhan and things that
Yeah.
are like.
So that he could catch them all.
Must be nice.
Yeah,
To,
when
must
the
be nice to
video
have
first
money.
came out, and it was like the 100 original
Thousands of
150,
dollars
he
to
like, literally
fly.
traveled around the world to get all of them.
Well, now he's fucked.
I
because
bet he
now
felt
they're
like an
introducing
idiot
all the
like
other
2
ones.
months later.
Yeah, big dumb idiot.
Alright, go ahead.
How does it feel knowing there's always a bunch of indie music fans wondering who the hell Habit is in the comment section of who could win a rabbit? That's incredible.
I actually love that. Yeah.
Well, I think in any of the music we've used, there's always if
The
you dig
Decemberists.
deep enough, you'll see Habit made me do it or something, or EMH sent me. I think that's
I
pretty
love
fun.
that. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice
That's
little mark
actually
to
pretty
leave.
cool.
I like that other people don't know it either, because it's just funny. Because who are you yelling at? Like, who are you fucking? Who are you yelling this?
They're
to?
just yelling it to yell it, man.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
viewers are
spraying
being
graffiti
very
on a
mean.
wall,
The viewers are being very mean, not getting 30,000 of their closest friends
Yeah.
to help us out. So
Mhm.
maybe those comments out in the wild will get 30,000
Maybe.
strangers.
Actually, it's funny you should bring that up. If you could get 30,000 of your friends to subscribe, like, what is the thing that we need to do?
We need 100. Okay, we need 100,000
Well,
subscribers.
that's way more than 30,000.
No, but we have
70
70.
something.
Why
We want
Why back
the
yourself
plat-
up? If you can get 300,000 of your
No,
dearest
okay.
friends,
2 million.
2.5 million
of
your
your
closest
dearest
friends.
friends,
And I mean that would take like
Send
one
me
of
a
you.
dollar.
Just reach out to your friends.
reach out to your 2 million friends.
Facebook friends, Instagram,
Do you
TikTok
not have 2 million
friends.
friends? Well,
Can we get a TikTok campaign going?
If it works, it works.
Oh.
But yeah.
if it gets me money, I guess. Give me your money.
So,
Put it up on
Give me your
Jeff,
money.
make sure you have a logo. Like a,
Can we do a fundraiser, but for us one time? And it's just called
telethon?
It's just called Give Me Your Money, like all in one word,
Yes.
and like brought to you by Everyman Hybrid. And we, I don't know, like bake a cake together, and they'll have to give us money.
Or make another omelet.
72 hours of baking cookies.
Fucking
The smell. Think of the smell.
I just want to go to bed. All I smell is sugar and death
And beef.
beef.
Why did you guys choose the route of fitness series in the beginning? Were there other ideas?
That was Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff was
That
just
was
like,
your idea, wasn't it?
It was,
That's
and
good.
there were other
That's
ideas
good.
for. The one that always sticks in the back of my mind was like a, not backyard wrestling, but like a Jackass type video
Oh,
series.
that would have been
Just
good.
because I think that would have given us an excuse to be in someone's backyard with like woods and
Mhm.
shit. So, I
That
think
also, I think, would have been the truest form of who we are.
Mhm.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or at least myself, I know, would love.
Yeah.
Let's run across thumbtacks. But I feel like that would have ended up with me doing a lot of the dumb shit,
Right,
and you
for
guys
real.
being like, "Well, I'll film and I'll announce," and then I'll do the dumb
Right.
fucking thing.
Evan hurts himself hybrid.
But yeah, no, that was Jeff with health. He coined the phrase "health and fitness on a
Yeah.
budget." I think you also came up with the title. You came up with the symbol,
Mhm.
the arrows, but I think you came up with the title too.
Yeah,
of
Jeff
Everyman
did.
Hybrid Health and. Who made the business cards? Was that you?
Jeff.
You made the business cards.
Yeah.
There
Jeff
you go.
did a lot of the
Jeff's
the
like a little,
yeah,
he's like a little businessman.
front end stuff.
Little beefy businessman.
It's business.
But the reason we chose that is because at the time we were like, Evan taught karate.
It
kung fu,
it worked well with
what
the
do they
stuff
call it
we-
these
we
days?
They
knew
call
we
it
could
karate,
bullshit.
but it was MMA. So
But-
we did Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Jeff worked in a
Muay Thai.
hospital, so he
Okay.
knew some. I don't give a shit about a
Jillion jitsu.
billion jitsu.
How many jitsus even is that?
Oh,
That's way too many jitsus. These kids don't even remember. Big dumb idiot.
Drowning in jitsu.
yeah, so Evan knows
Good
at
job
least
with all your
a billion.
bajillion jitsus. I'll just shoot you with bullets, you stupid idiot.
Just talking over here. Jeff worked in a hospital, so we're like, we got health, whatever, fine.
What?
He was actually trying to answer the question when you're over there having a stroke about jitsu.
I was
Just naming
I was
every type of
mentioning it,
kung
and then
fu.
he fucking just started talking.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
it was because
No,
Jeff.
tell us what you taught. No,
Because
no, go
Jeff,
back, go back.
Shut your
tell
mouth.
us what you taught.
Shut your mouth. Because Jeff worked in a hospital, we decided to do a workout
No,
show?
no, no.
Is that what you're trying
No,
to
for
say?
real.
What the fuck does that
When we
have to
sat
do with-
down, it was literally that you taught Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA and
Just
Kung
MMA.
Fu and karate. And
MMA is when you
drunken
mix
master
all of these together. That's MMA. It's
All
mixed
these
martial
things
arts.
you're naming.
Okay.
Jeff had some knowledge of health. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I
Did
like
he
I like
know?
work out. No, that was like something that I distinctly remember going, yeah, whatever.
It works hospitals basically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm like 2 degrees
Yeah.
away from a doctor.
And at that point, like, you know, my mom had all like those healthy recipes and stuff like that. So we said, yeah, that
That's
works.
true.
That works.
Yeah, and I could do like here's how you do push-ups.
Right,
here's how you
exactly.
do- Yeah, I remember that.
So it was like sort of like, how can we roll into this the easiest? And that was,
What's knowledge that we all can pull
Right.
together as working out stuff? Yeah.
and I think like the Jackass sort of thing would have tonally set the totally different series. You know, it would have been a whole different. feeling.
I actually think that
Yeah.
that would still be interesting to do.
For
we
sure.
Should, we should.
I mean, we could use that for something in the
Yeah.
future. But
Something
I
to-
think the whole health series kind of gave us like a veil of legitimacy early on.
Yes.
Because I don't know. I mean, obviously, we in the last Q&A we discussed how we retconned shitty Slender Man takes into the story. I feel like we probably would have set ourselves up without having that with the Jackass stuff, because it's like we probably would have tried that much harder to make them look good and still have failed.
Right.
I don't know. I think having like a this is where shit goes south
Well, and I
works
think
with the fitness series.
yeah, because and I get what you're saying. Sort of, it's just when we're doing the fitness series, we're clearly playing a part. It's like, wow, Evan, what do you think about this? And he's like, you got to do the push-ups. But
Yeah.
if we're doing Jackass, it's harder to tell where the video ends and the people beginning, because it's sort
Yeah.
of that silly bullshit, you know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were kind of like on the pulse of the whole internet videos thing.
Finger right on.
There would be like episodes of Evan eats thumbtacks. The episode.
Is that one of your jitsus?
But it was a lot easier to do it with like
Zeitgeist?
we're cooking, we're making a salad. Here's the video versus open-ended. How is Evan hurting himself?
Right,
Or what are we naming
stapling
this
Evan to a
episode?
wall or something.
I will tell you what, though. I will tell you what. If we had done those kinds of videos, the Chuck Green Challenge would have been
It would've.
fucking
The Chuck
done
Green
by
Challenge
now.
is always on the table.
Listen, let's fucking. I'm not kidding.
Go on, I'll film it.
No, you will participate, goddamn you.
See, that's what it comes
Amanda
down
and
to.
Talia will film it, 2 different cameras.
They can
Now you have
participate.
no excuses because we have people to do these things.
I-
People,
Amanda, can you do it?
get
in my
your
stead?
cameras.
Can you do the Chuck Green challenge instead of me?
I can film it.
No, can I film it?
Well, you can't film it, Vinny, because Amanda's already filming it.
Should we
Well,
describe
her
the
camera's
Chuck Green
much better than
Challenge?
We could
yours.
switch.
It's not, but I'll use Vinny's camera.
Oh, she's got your camera. Don't even sweat it.
Am I
You can
reading
Pound
correctly?
down that apple pie. Pound down that what?
Am I reading correctly that it's tap dancing?
No, Chuck Green Challenge.
You're so wrong.
No, we'll explain it to
Do you
you.
want to
Don't
skip
worry.
forward of this a little bit? I mean,
Well,
it's kind of
yeah.
scenic.
No, let him read.
You know what? Yeah, let him read.
Let him
have
read.
All those waters in the arcs. Ooh.
That really bothers you, huh?
I
No,
hate
that doesn't bother me. My face 40 feet across kind of bothered me.
Is that next?
I think it is.
Can we
No,
I don't
leave
know
it.
how to
Leave
do
it.
that.
Leave
fast
it.
forward a little bit and get Jeff's face
Oh,
back
you
there?
want my face? Go for
Pause
it.
it,
It doesn't
rewind
bother
it.
me. You can't hurt me anymore.
Do
Do you want to describe the Chuck Green Challenge?
What?
Do you want to tell them what the Chuck Green Challenge is, or do we wait until it actually happens?
Well, listen. I've been after this for years. Will this actually happen?
I'm down.
I'll tell you
I'll
what.
probably get diabetes from it.
Wait, I'll tell you what. If any of you want to see the Chuck Green Challenge, if you want to know what it is and you want to see it happen,
3,000 of your
donate.
closest friends.
Get 300 million of your closest friends and
It'll never
donate.
happen.
Donate. I say if we reach $50.
This
If
is
we-
extortion.
Shut your mouth.
This is extortion. We're
Yeah,
not
it's-
extorting them for the
it's-
details of
it's-
the
If we
Chuck Green
reach
Challenge.
no, this is like a
It's a
Patreon
surprise
tier.
box.
Yeah. This is a tier.
It's a
So
loot box.
if we get $50, that's enough to pay for all the shit that we would
No,
need
we do need to buy
easily.
stuff for it.
Exactly.
Right, that's
All we
true.
need is a field. I have the Walmart tables.
Yeah.
We can pull out some. We just need the fucking food. And I
What
can use
about
my
the-
boxing gloves,
are we
and we're
doing
good to go.
ellipticals?
And these
Is that
people,
still a thing?
Talia's back there just confused as to what this could possibly be.
They're denying her of what the Chuck Green
And
Challenge is.
I will tell you, if we get $50, it will pay for the whole thing. And then we take a weekend, we're all off, and we just bounce.
We're gonna need at least
we
a
pound
day or
this shit
two of
out.
recovery.
And if you
Yes.
want to see us complete the Chuck Green Challenge, which I've been pushing for years, we just
This
need
is
to
gonna
reach
happen now.
$50. That's not just from one person, you know.
Yes.
Get 50 of your closest friends to give you $1, and then give that money to us. And
How do we take these
Are
donations?
we doing that like here
What?
in the chat,
Yeah,
or
in this chat?
because this would be premiered?
It's got to be in this chat. Yeah.
well, are we gonna watch this together?
Yeah.
When does this premiere?
When does it premiere?
Does
Are
this
we doing
premiere
it Halloween?
It's gonna be Halloween. Yeah.
All right. Well, then Vinny's not going to be here for that, but we're going to be here for that.
Well, then we will see if we get $50 fucking dollars.
We're gonna do this at our house.
No,
What?
we can't do it.
We're gonna do it in the field.
No. All right.
Do you see what you're doing?
Stay with me. Stop. $50 goes to the Everman Hybrid Boys. The Everman Hybrid Boys go and buy the supplies, plan the day. We decide what day it is.
Yeah, we can do that in the future.
We either I say we record it probably, so that you can like. So
we're
that
not
you can,
doing it live.
So that you,
Live.
you get to see Jeff have a fucking
Stroke
conniption.
Buckets. Get
What?
buckets.
Go into diabetic
Oh, we're definitely
shock.
gonna need buckets because vomiting is a huge part.
It's-
So it's
not-
it's the whole thing.
It's not if we're gonna vomit; it's who's gonna vomit last.
If you don't vomit, you don't. Listen, we'll explain the rules after we get to $50. We get $50. We buy the shit. We plan a day. We all decide what day works for us. We then tell the fans. We record it. We record it and then we release it to everybody.
Yes.
There you go. And whoever
This is-
whoever gives us.
Don't hurt yourself.
This is like
Well,
six
I'm just
years.
I'm spouting ideas.
Do you
Whoever
see how
gives us
excited we are?
money.
This is 6 years in the making.
Whoever
of the
gives
Chuck
us-
Green
Evan
Evan
Challenge.
has wanted this.
Whoever gives us money for it, right? We mark their names.
Hang on, let's break it down so they know what they're getting into.
No.
If
No,
we get
that's the
$50,
point. No, I don't want them to know.
No.
I want them
They
to fear
are
it.
paying money
Yes.
for the possibility and overall likeliness of y'all throwing up.
Yes.
It is so much more
There's
than
a
that.
lot
And
more.
you are belittling it, and I don't respect
There's
it.
a lot
You don't
more.
even know what it is.
is.
Then shut up. You don't even know what it is. Go back to your computer, and we will explain Chuck Green Challenge to you when we are in a safe environment.
if
You
But
can
as
just cut it.
No. No, we can't risk it.
Jeff won't cut it. Look at his eyes.
what, cut this?
Yeah.
Oh hell no, this is staying in.
Exactly. So listen. We can somehow figure out who paid us the money,
It'll be.
and in the video we have to like read their name or something, and then like
I got
"Ah!"
one better.
Sponsored
And, like,
by.
bang-
Yeah, no, I was gonna say,
Sponsors.
you have to.
Sponsors.
Oh my
Team-
god, I love that idea.
So and so presents
Team
the first annual Chuck Green
We
Challenge.
get stupid stickies all over
Yes.
us. We're teams broken up into however many. Watch like one person pays for
Chuck
the whole
Green,
50, and it's just that.
Team Green, Team West.
So if
Figure
you
it out.
donate, you have to make sure. Well, people are probably already donating in the chat, maybe. But if you donate, say like this is for the Chuck Green
Put a
Challenge.
memo.
Yeah, donate for the Chuck Green Challenge, and we'll try to keep track of how many people do it.
Hashtag CG.
No, it doesn't even need to be.
Hashtag Chuck Green Challenge. Oh wait,
Well,
is that already a thing, Talia? Is it dancing?
Tap
Oh,
into-
now you want my opinion?
You were
I'm
telling
sorry.
me you were telling me it was dancing or something, right?
Tap
The only
dancer.
thing I found when I googled Chuck Green Challenge was Chuck Green and tap dancer.
Who the fuck is Chuck?
That's
No.
not the same one.
Fuck him. I'm talking about the BMXer.
Yes.
This world famous BMXer.
World
famous.
famous.
Beautiful daughter.
Well, the dirt bike.
Sweetheart of an angel.
Yes, but she was very sick.
Okay,
Was.
moving on.
It depends on what you did.
Was.
Oh, Vinny.
I tried. I really did.
I did. I got
It
a
was
bunch
rough.
of different endings. They're gonna be looking up who that is and what we were talking
I
about.
love
If
just
you
When
had
does
to-
Jeff's face show up?
It's soon. If you had to write Habit's death into the show, how would you have killed him and why? Let's pretend, this is for the sake of answering, we would not have probably made him
No, probably not.
vulnerable.
Well, because that takes away the the. First of all,
I mean,
that,
we wouldn't have said that straight out because we got to give that false hope.
first of all, that takes away the theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
And remember the overarching theme was hopelessness. We cannot win.
Right.
The
Mhm.
humans cannot win. They will not. You will not win against these things. Any of them. You know, and that was the point. Is that they are above us, beyond us. That's the whole thing. What would he do if you're snarky? You're nothing. You're dirt to him. He doesn't care. Like, and that's the same with the Slenderman and the Rake. They are monsters, and they were meant to be scary and overpowered as fuck. And that's the whole fucking point. There is no chance for you to succeed or win.
Yeah, I don't think we ever thought about like how who. I don't think we've ever been like, ooh, who would win, Batman or Superman with like Habit or Slenderman. I think we.
No,
There's
like
a dynamic
corn
it was
there
always
you're working
supposed to
with.
be left like you know in comic books when they do verses,
Mhm.
it's always like and they're gonna and then they go somewhere else. You know, and that's kind of what the whole point of it was. And,
They're gonna
you know,
kiss, right?
They're about to kiss and then
Right.
they shy away. Like,
And
will they, won't they?
I think part of it is like we didn't explore it because I'm not sure that Habit and Slenderman have explored their relationship past like this works
Kissing?
right now.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So who knows who would have done what to who or where Tentacles would have ended up? But like
Whoa.
that's not for us because we didn't really, we didn't make that happen. You know.
Yeah, no. So the question was, would we have, or how would we have?
It's how would we have, which
have?
is
So I'm saying, suspend your own.
Okay,
issues
so
with that.
aside from the fact that we wouldn't, the symbol, the knife.
I think it would have been necessary
have?
to like
What,
trap him
Cornthal?
somewhere.
First of all,
Slenderman?
I definitely think it would have been Cornthal
Yeah.
and nobody else,
Yes.
because he's the shit.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been something that maybe would have cost him. You know what I mean? Like he would have had to sacrifice one of us like forever. You know, in order to take down that.
Really
Yeah.
locking
thing.
himself out of the Candleverse or
Yeah,
some
separate
shit to-
himself from his own
yeah.
children forever. You know,
Right.
like they're dead forever, but at least you killed one of them. Now work on killing the rest. That seems interesting, but I think it would have been because I'm thinking logistically how, but that thing,
symbol, yeah.
and then you have to figure out how to actually hit him and not just the body, and that's another thing that sucks. But like,
Which we have not, we
Cornthal.
totally didn't explore. So like,
Yeah.
we don't even know how to get to the final form.
but however it would be, I do agree, Cornthal. He's the only thing that is like the hope,
Right.
but
Right.
it still didn't matter, and that was the beauty of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I guess I would choose
Yeah,
him.
I agree with that. Same, exactly the same.
Breezy's Main says, if they got a tattoo of the North Star on their hand, could they become the One Punch Man?
Only one way to find out.
I say
Yeah,
go for it.
only one way to find out.
Shave your head. I watched a couple episodes after you told me to watch it.
One Punch
It's
Man?
so fucking funny.
How didn't
It's
I
so
tell you?
good.
Did you see the Lobster Man?
I don't know.
Oh, buddy,
I
you
don't
haven't
remember.
even lived yet
No,
until you
I'm
see
only
the
like
Lobster
2
Man.
episodes.
Did you see the big horrible engine man that comes up
Okay,
to
I know
him
that.
after
I know the
he's
big
shopping?
horrible engine.
Yes. And he's like, "Hey, you give me that." That's how fantastic is that show?
It's
I told
unbelievable.
you.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It gets
what it is.
better and better,
Okay.
and I'm not fucking. Did you see the android yet? His
I
best
don't think
friend?
so.
The android that becomes his best friend.
No.
He's like like an actual anime protagonist, and he keeps wanting to hang around with One Punch Man. He's like, "Teach me your ways," and One Punch Man's like, "Leave me alone. I gotta make eggs."
Oh no, yeah, that's like the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, this is kind of it's a good question, but we might have to think for a second. Afro King J says, there was a lot of lore questions asked, but here's a writing question. Did we ever have something that we needed to we need to talk about car shit? I mean, I guess this is like our health stuff. And realize none of you actually knew anything about the subject. If so, how did you learn
Yes.
enough to make a convincing conversation?
food. I'm actually not. We said that I was the
Dietary
food guy.
expert.
And I eat like shit still. I eat like a fucking pig. Like, I eat the worst food ever. We bought a whole bunch of Halloween candy. Half of it's gone.
I said that.
I have no self-control. So the fact that I was the dietitian or whatever,
There was some charm and like in jokes with that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
but that was legitimately, I had to look stuff up. Like, what's the fucking, the
Santa Fe chicken salad?
Santa Fe chicken salad?
I say Santa Fe chicken salad?
Santa Fe chicken salad.
Okay.
I literally couldn't remember the line. I've never once eaten a salad or that salad like in my life. I've eaten a salad or two, but like not that one.
Or
you know, like,
two.
there's so much food that I don't know anything about, and that's
Garbanzo beans.
if
Also,
I
roasted
if I
beans.
knew about
Nice.
food. I should learn about food. I'd probably be in way better shape.
It's a good time.
I work out a lot. If I
Yeah, we
eat-
definitely-
if
we
I
definitely
eat
look
right,
stuff
that's
up
the
for
whole
the trips.
trifecta, right?
That's
You
it.
gotta eat right and.
We watched the first 2 episodes of EMH. Talk all about it.
I mean, you have to be kind of confident in just bullshitting because
Yeah.
if you're clearly just making it up, you can make it funny, and that's
Well, it's
a quarter of our conversations.
also so much easier
on
when,
screen.
when we know, like, especially with the health stuff. So I was also trying to think like the sigma radiation, all that, but we just made all that up.
Oh
you
well,
know?
no, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I
Yeah.
said thinking
But
about
with
that
the
stuff.
before we move on to that, with
Yeah,
the
go
health
for it,
stuff, it's so
sorry.
much easier when we knew that we weren't trying to give real health advice. You know,
Yeah,
like had we
Yeah.
been like, hey, let's make a health series, I would have been like, oh fuck, we
more
don't.
research.
I don't
We
know
don't know at
anything.
all.
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
know
not
what to
good.
do.
But when we were just trying to bullshit 3 minutes worth of shit to get Slenderman out there, it was
Yeah.
so much easier.
Well, and that's kind of interesting about the whole Sigma stuff because it was like just learning enough to know how to properly bullshit.
Yes.
Because like, and I remember, for instance, there was like this was probably one offhand comment during a relatively strong point of the series about the Sigma stuff. It's like, well, that's stupid. That's not what Sigma radiation is, and it's like, well, no, we learned things about how something close to what is happening is being described,
Yeah.
and let's make something up now, and then cross the line into horror fiction. Hey, it's me again, / science fiction. And it's like you just gotta learn enough to, when you sound convincing that you're talking to other people, stop.
I'm not doing it. I'm just smiling at you. You're my best friend. I'm smiling at you. Can I smile at you?
No. That's kind of it. I mean, you could do cursory research or stuff. We were all in undergrad at this point, so we were all probably taking classes about
Sigma radiation?
random
Yeah, me too.
bullshit. I was in an intro to chemistry class at that point. That's how I started talking about it. True story, you asshole.
Nice giant face, Jeff.
Yes.
This isn't even the worst one.
No, I'm there too.
No, but look at the chin fuzz.
Still, whenever I see this video, we said it last time, I think
gotta
of that
take this-
awesome 7-Eleven coffee we got there.
Good job.
I think we'll be wrapping up soon.
Yeah, I feel like we've gone so
I feel like this is way too long, actually.
Yeah.
You're going to have to shave this off.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Chuck Green Challenge conversation.
Took
right
up like
after-
45 minutes.
Yeah, that was. I'm sorry.
No, we're
I got very
We're
excited.
just about an hour, which is
the
what
fact
I think
that
we're
the
aiming
fact
for.
that it may happen excites me very much.
I know. We've been talking about it for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll end on this from Tansy Graves. How much quote-unquote room do you think there is left for ARGs? Similar to what you, Mortal Hornets, and Tribe 12 were/are making. Do you think another series featuring Slenderman as a main antagonist could be successful if handled well? Love you guys. You're huge inspirations.
Can I?
Go first.
I think for Slenderman, maybe not. I think even if done well, just the very I wouldn't watch it just off the top of my head. You know what I mean? I feel like there's probably a lot of people who'd be like, solid. ARGs, I think that's a never-ending thing. I think you could always come up with a good ARG because it could be about fun. Like when certain video games come out, they have ARG like aspects and games online, and that's awesome.
Right.
And I think
Now,
I would love to see that.
Would a YouTube ARG be successful? Maybe not. But there are so many new platforms out there. There's so many new ways to connect. There's so many
Social
new ways to
media
get
just in general,
files to people, and you know that. Yes, I think ARGs. I think a new ARG with like a fresh mind to it could be incredible. Could be just the coolest shit ever. Circling back to what Evan said about Slenderman, I think that's incredibly difficult because part of what makes an ARG so great is the believability of it. At this point, Slenderman is literally a pop icon. Everybody knows what Slenderman is. Everybody knows that Slenderman is fake. It's so hard at this point to go, you know what, I can suspend disbelief and accept this as reality for now because you know that Slenderman is everywhere. You've seen it. There's like Hot Topic shirts at this point.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I would also say an ARG like. Let's say you don't base it on horror. Let's say you just base it on like fun.
Cooking.
Right.
Santa Fe chicken salads.
Like it could be about anything, and it's just you're having the whole point of an ARG is character interaction in the way that the characters are being able to taste the story. They are part of the
Taste the
story.
Santa Fe
They are
chicken
part of the world. Yeah. So I think you could do that with anything. It doesn't even have to be horror. It could just be like, send me a note to. I don't know, describe your shoes and I'll read it out online. And that's an ARG technically because you're part of the game, whatever. As long as what the main story or whatever the thing is that's happening is fictional,
Right,
it is now an ARG.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? As long as it's just fake, it is an ARG. The minute you're actually like, chopping people up, now it's just become unfortunate.
Or the minute you're just saying,
Tragic.
throw questions at me, I'll answer them. Like, that's not
an ARG, that's different. Yeah, but like,
Throw money at us so we do the Chuck Green Challenge.
That's an
Is it
ARG.
an ARG?
Support an ARG.
it's only $50, I think, right?
And 30,000 of your closest friends and family.
No,
Need
but
both.
no, I think those are all good ideas about Slenderman and where he is now.
Wow. Anyway, we're gonna sign off now. I'm gonna disappear between now and the live stream. So everybody have a beautiful Halloween with these two and those two, and the ghost in the back room is gonna follow them home.
Have we decided what we wanted to do? I'll host.
I
You
think-
be at my house, but
I think we'll just do something quiet. We'll,
They'll see.
I'll figure it out.
We'll
We'll
see
figure
it.
it out.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
they'll see it. Because
Thanks for watching this first 7 episode run of the Q&A. It won't be a weekly one next time, but you'll hear from us soon about what we plan to do.
Good night.
All right, bye.
Devil's
I guess.
Reach.
Hang up.
And happy Halloween, I guess, because it's Halloween in this
We're gonna
in this time travel.
Jeff, you gotta do it as
and
I'm
we're gonna
coming
be
up
on.
with
We're
the
gonna be on in
chainsaw.
a minute.